And welcome everyone to Into the Wastelands, the Eternal Army. Thank you for joining us for episode 3, an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Niall. I'll be your dungeon master tonight. Thank you. And we're thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/Protea RPG. For those of you who are new to Dungeons and Dragons, welcome. Everyone here is going to be playing a fantasy character. We're going to be rolling some dice. They're 20-sided. The 20 usually means it's good, and a 1, I'm just pointing numbers. A 1 is bad. Low results are bad. High results are usually good. All of these wonderful people are playing a fantasy character and have character sheets that should be on the overlay as well that you should be able to access. So have a look at those. We're playing quite like nice medium range characters actually. Level, should I say. So it's all very exciting. And whilst they play their characters, I play everything else in the said world between monsters, people, and in this case, a lot of goblinoids. So between me describing what happens in the world and the players making choices, we are here to tell you this fantabulous story with our fantabulous players. Speaking of fantabulous players, how about we have a little bit of an introduction, your character's name, pronouns if you wish to give them, and maybe how they currently feel in this situation that they have been thrust into, one could say. Michael, would you please kick us off?
Hello, I'm Mike, he, him, and I'm playing Jamie Link, she, her. And well, to be honest, I feel like the anxiety has slowly gone down after the fact that her and Protea didn't decide to 2-1 a dragon on their own. So that little bit of danger close has been moved away from swiftly.
Wise choices. Thank you very much. And speaking of Protea, Hannah.
Hello, I'm Hannah. I play Protea. We both use she, her pronouns. Protea being de facto, but not really in charge of this lot, is pretty excited about how everything's going. A bit confused as to, wait, we were supposed to deal with some orcs. Now we're not dealing with those orcs. How are we collecting that reward money? Oh, but this is fun. I think that's more or less how she's doing. As an addendum to streamers, I, Hannah, am recovering from her surgery, so I am going to be a little bit quieter, but have no fear, Protea will continue to be obnoxious.
Still, Hannah just being a true champion for us. And if it does make you feel any better, you did technically take care of the orcs.
We took care of some orcs. We don't know if that's those orcs. Wait, DM, was that the orcs?
And Evie.
I'm not hearing a no. Hi, I'm Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Malice Special. He uses he, him pronouns. And Malice is currently feeling trepidatious, a little bit like he's bitten off more than he can chew. Because he's now been handed an axe and promised to be strong of heart to honor some dude's grandmother, and that's not really Malice's wheelhouse, so we're going to see how that goes.
Beautiful. I totally forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. Rebecca.
Hello, I am Rebecca. I am playing Veracity Tallow. We both use she, her pronouns. Veracity is, she's not a big fan of the creepy, culty priests that have rocked up and been very rude to everyone, and she's not a big fan of being lied to. And she's slightly unsettled about how she's going to find the truth of all of this whilst teaching basic morality to half the party. But is looking forward to hopefully getting to the bottom of things. Maybe as soon as we kick off, there might be some answers.
Who's to say? Not me. G.
Hi, I'm G. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Vega, who uses he, him pronouns. I think Vega's, at this point, is sort of surprised at actually how much he's enjoying kind of being with a party. He'd always been sort of more of a one-on-one like competition fighter, and so, yeah, this is a bit out of his wheelhouse, but he's getting into it, I think.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thank you very much, you wonderful people. And before we do kick off this stream, we'll run for about 3 hours. There'll be a roughly 5 to 10 minute break somewhere in the middle. But my timings are shy, so we'll see how we get from there. We're delighted to be sponsored by Hero Forge. Hero Forge offers a fully customizationable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy races and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tools let you build their perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator right in your web browser. Hero Forge is constantly expanding the catalog of customization options, so there's always something new to check out at heroforge.com. We're also delighted to be sponsored by UltraPro. Get your tabletop organized with character folios, dice bags. UltraPro is the leading manufacturer and supplier of sports and gaming collectible accessories, as well as other gaming accessories. So join us in Twitch chat today to win a gift voucher for UltraPro. Just type something into the chat. You'll be entered into a random draw, and these can be given all over the world. So head to ultrapro.com. We're also sponsored by the wonderful Elderwood Academy, who are a premium purveyor of bespoke gaming-themed gear, including hex chests, dice boxes, spell book deck box / rolling trays, disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, and they're doing some really cool stuff. I think I mentioned last episode, but I can't get over it. They did a really fucking cool Leatherface Mind Flayer one, which was fucking cool. So yeah, go check them out. You can get 10% off your Elderwood purchase with the code roll-together, all caps, at checkout. Find more at elderwoodacademy.com. You can also put a link to chat, and the mods will help you out with any codes that you need to know. We're also supported by D&D Beyond, a guide to your digital D&D, and you can see everyone's character sheets on the overlay on the left-hand side of your screen. They'll be on the side of the screen. File up dice, and there's a link in the chat for our Table Shakers range, which are basically massive fuck off big dice. So yeah, have a little cheeky check of those. We're also supported by 2 lovely D&D video games, Idle Champions and Warriors of Waterdeep. You can see some codes at the bottom of the screen. Again, it's just ! Idle Champions or ! Warriors of Waterdeep into Twitch chat, and you'll get download links for the games. And then for Idle Champions, there's a code that you can enter, which is ! Code, and then you get a gold chest, whereas for Warriors Waterdeep, ! Wow gems, and then you get a link for that. But you also need to use that on the device that you've got the game running on to get those sweet
gems.
We are Roll Together RPG on all social media, and there'll be links in chat, so do like, follow, subscribe, please. A massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. Our dice heads are amazing, and you can find a link in chat to help become one of them. You can offer anything from £1, $1, and unlock more tiers by joining us. So thank you again to all the dice heads, and please join us. Our shows are also available as podcasts, and you can search Roll Together RPG on all your favorite podcasting apps. And finally, we play with a diverse group of players, play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans and GNC positive, and we encourage and champions trans and GNC players and characters and DMs in our games. The DMs and players may portray characters that are of different gender to their own, so we aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen, and we have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If we do miss an instance of misgendering, we are open to being corrected, so please do let us know if you think one has been missed. And let's begin. Episode 3, baby! Wow, 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 wow! Hit the credits. Hit it! So, where we last left off, Protea's predators, as you had been so aptly called.
I forgot that bit.
How could you forget, Rebecca?
I think I blanked it out.
Yeah. It's at the top of my notes to make sure I'll never forget. So Protea's I should write it in ink. So
I'm a poet. I'm really good at coming up with nice names, and
Yeah.
the fact that you used the Force of One on the naming of the party.
I've never been happier, I'll be honest. So, Protea's Predators, as been so called, are a bunch of ragtag adventurers that have been flung together to do a job for a lot of money, and that was to sort out the northern trade route from these marauding orcs that had been seen accosting people on the road. It had then turned out that adventurers that had been going up there had been decapitated and their bodies left to be recovered by the Predator's Lair, which is the company that hands out all the bets and things. You guys went over there, found Crispus Horatia, who was a world-famous artist that once you'd saved from a group of 6 bugbears, painted you all a lovely portrait, capturing your very essence within the art itself. They toddled off back to the Predator's Lair because you told them it's probably not safe, and went deeper towards the Black Mountain toll picking. Once you got there, you found a large camp that was empty, but the sounds of rhythmic drumming. You spoke to a blind goblin who was making some health potions. You pushed their cauldron over and left them aimlessly still trying to make something without a cauldron to make it in, for they did not notice. You went down into the pit to find all the goblins in the world had been called upon to watch you guys have a fight, and fight you did. 2 large orcs that had been corrupted in some sort of way to make them even more monstrous came out and fought with you, but you managed to defeat them and were congratulated by the goblins and their leader, a hobgoblin general called Rulvuk. They told you that they were from a city far away in the Wastelands that had been attacked, and that they were waiting for you because you were the champions of Maglubayet, the goblinoid god. And this was all some sort of tribalistic ritual to find those champions. The priestess of the Unholy Covenant was rather unimpressed by you, and I think you were rather unimpressed by them. And whilst sort of raking you over the hot coals, a few of you went off to try to talk to an imprisoned dragon to potentially befriend it, but that did not go so well. And we find ourselves back in Rulvuk's tent. The priestess and the rest of the Unholy Covenant of cleric-looking hobgoblins have buggered off to go attend the signs and talk to Maglubayet, apparently. And Rulvuk has taken you further into his tent, into his private quarters, to have a rather candid chat. And this is where we find ourselves. Sorry, I dropped my rubber. I'm back now. So, you enter into this large tented area, and like described before, it's not particularly special or anything nice, but it is nicer and finer than the rest of the campsite itself. You notice that sort of the main piece of this is like a backpack that is well crafted, well made, of top quality, and obviously used for function. Rulvuk turns to you and he says, "I can finally be candid. The issue is that my city was built on the religion of Maglubayet. Our people came together due to Maglubayet. And when we fell, a religious sect that wouldn't normally have much sway in the kingdom was listened to by a great majority of people. And I'm their king. And I have to listen to the people. And they wanted the Unholy Covenant to be heard. The Unholy Covenant suggested that we go back to our old ways of conquering. And we were going to come to this land, full strong armies, thousands of us, and fight you to the death. There are hundreds and thousands of families from my city, and I did not want them to be brought into a war, into a foreign country that they don't know. On top of that, they would be slaughtering thousands and thousands of families in these lands. So, being the king, I thought it would make sense if Maglobayet visited me with one of these visions. I came up with something that I remembered from my childhood. Old rituals. Champions were formed by, well, bloodshed. They would essentially be put into pits and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight until the strongest survives. So, I suggested that maybe we find champions in Faerû. That maybe Maglobayet would send us people. And I'll be honest with you, it was getting rather close. We managed to find in some kind of orc battlement camp, after I'd recruited some goblinoids to help me, we captured them and they had transformed themselves into these weird demonic beings of strength and power that I knew would test champions. So we put them into the cave and we created the pit and we waited. And again, a bit of a barbaric tradition, but the heads of those who'd been slain would be marked as sacrifice for Maglobayet, hence the distasteful decoration on your ways here. I'm presuming you saw the corridor of skulls, the flaming skull. Yeah. But then, well, you came. And if you don't agree to this, I won't be able to do anything.
So you made it all up?
Yes.
Why couldn't you have made up a vision of your god coming and going, let's not go to war, let's make a farm? Farms are nice.
How much do you know about Maglobayet?
I can't even say their name.
Well, they don't tend to make farms.
Can I roll history to see how much I know about Maglobayet, please?
Yeah.
That's a 16.
Maglobayet has a realm on Archeon and is the god of goblinoids, essentially. They once served another god called Bane, but now is their own god in their own right. They're sort of known as the Battle Lord, and they are known very much for conquering and fighting and destroying. They constantly fight with Grumsh, who is the orc god, and peace was never really an option for Maglobayet. And you gather that from Rolvuk's saying, even what he's suggesting is like cool for Maglobayet. He's really pulling at strings here to make sure that war doesn't happen.
I understand that your god is like, a god of destruction and hitting things and war and battle and all that. I still don't quite understand what you want from us. Sorry, we did sort of have something we were doing. Is it urgent?
Well, our city, Arkanhasa. Well, it's been taken over by an army of beings that I've never, ever seen before. Anything like it. The dragon in the cave is nothing compared to what we saw that day. Hundreds of them opened up from the sun. They rained down like fire. And there was no warning, no call. They just came in and started destroying everything.
So
they pushed us.
what are you expecting us to do? I know what you've told them and what they're expecting of us, but what do you expect of us now?
What I want is a chance to take my city back. At least the people will rally behind a group of champions chosen by Maglabayet. It was a horrible battle. We were thrown out of our city, literally made refugees from our own walls by these monsters. And they would not fight back. They didn't have the courage, they didn't have the strength to follow me into battle. But I believe that we are strong enough. I believe that if we come up with a good plan, and if we think hard enough, we'll be able to take our city back. This is the discussion that we were having. The Unholy Coven think this, we've been pushed aside, that we should go forth and continue conquering. I said, how could we conquer when our own city was taken from us?
But you've said you'll get your city back and then conquer the entire world. So if we help you get your city back, won't you then go and conquer the entire world?
I will have a bit more sway if I'm right. If my talks of coming back for our city is listened to and we succeed, then hopefully we can return to our more peaceful ways. Don't get me wrong. Our civilization is still about strength, still about standing in power, but at least we had trade. At least other gods were able to be worshipped freely. They didn't have their own churches, but they weren't pulled out of their homes and slaughtered.
I ask a very academic question. I know that this might not be how you think about things, but is this more of a top-down or is it a bottom-up religious sect? Is it the few who are sort of advising the many about what Maglabayet really wants, or is it the many, grassroots rebellion against your kingly interpretation of scripture? Where are we coming from all of this? Only that affects how, of course, our plans would work.
All I can really say is that the priestess Evravo, she was a bit of a zealot throughout her entire career. And she has suddenly got more followers due to the fact that, well, all the things she was saying about me and about my family, well, they've turned out to be right. Evie?
Sorry, this is Malice having his hand up.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Throughout the entire conversation.
You with your hand up.
Lady Protea, do I have leave to speak?
Please. Not like that.
I will do better. Hi, I'm Malice. We met earlier. So, first of all, I'm very relieved to hear that we're not actually chosen by a god. That is a weight off my mind. Secondly, are we expected to just kind of be figureheads? Or were you just kind of gambling with fate and hoping that strategists would just kind of walk in and be your chosen? What is the kind of deal?
I'd be lying to say that I hadn't prayed to Maglabayet myself. A part of me does believe that you are chosen.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Goody.
None of these people have ever been on an adventure before.
I mean, I have, but I've been on the other side of it.
That thing.
Yeah.
And I've been on one.
I fought with armies.
Oh, that's good. I haven't. I've just seen dead bodies on battlefields.
Well,
Been beaten up a lot.
Yeah.
I've actually read a lot. I know that that's not quite the same, but strategy is not something that is foreign completely. So wait, can I just ask, sorry, logistically, I know that this maybe isn't what you want to think about, but it is what I want to think about. We have some orcs to kill. Have you already got rid of those?
No, the bodies are probably still back where you left them.
Sorry, we were hired. Wait, we should come back to hiring, actually. Anyway, we were hired to get rid of some orcs. Were those the orcs that were terrorizing the pass? Was there?
I mean, there were orcs that were attacking the nearby trade route. Yes.
And those are the ones we just killed.
But the people beheading the adventurers were our lovely, lovely hosts,
Right.
who we're now going to go work for. Isn't that lovely?
Do
I
they need to
do
know
want
that?
to make it clear that this isn't the easiest situation I've ever been put in. I want to be clear that I was a king of peacetime. I was born and raised to continue the way that we've been living, with trade, and with compassion and empathy, with the ability to use other cultures' strengths to our own strength and build a greater and more powerful city together. I myself have never had to go to war.
I'm sorry to hear being born into a royal family was such a hardship for you.
No, it can be hard. It can.
That's not the hardship. I'm not asking for your pity. What I'm saying is that I also have not had to deal with this kind of craziness before.
I insight check this whole conversation. Niall is being terribly convincing, but I want to know if Rovak actually is, if he seems on the level. That is 18.
I got a 19.
Nice.
I would say you both know that whilst he is speaking the truth in terms of he's never had to deal with this level of a situation before now. He's also he just said that I'm a king of peacetime. I've never really had to have a fight kind of thing. He's tough. He's being nice in the terms of look, when all of us are a bit out of our water, but behind all that is some serious I would happily fight and kill for this city. But at least he'd fight and kill for the people. It's not about anything else.
Okay.
And he's been trained to do so.
We suspect he has a stat block.
Maybe.
Well, in which case, I think our problem seems to be threefold. First one, we need to turn in the job that we came to do. Secondly, I know that that's not a problem you have, it's a problem we have. Sorry, huddle. Secondly, Protea just does a little huddle gesture for the rest of the group.
Do you huddle?
No.
Yes, I am a member of Protea's Predators. I immediately go to my lady's beck and call.
Malice?
Yes?
You don't have to do that.
She's our leader, right?
No, she's bossy and she's rich. That doesn't mean you have to do everything she says. You don't have to put your hand up and then she gives you permission to speak. You can just say things.
Lady Protea, is that true?
No, oh dear.
I mean, technically, but it was nice that you waited. It's very polite. But no, sorry. So we've got to turn in our job. I also reckon we do sort of would benefit from helping them retake their city. And then we need to stop them from wanting to take over the world, as Veracity so cleverly pointed out.
So I'm still here.
No, I know.
I'd just like to say...
Not in the huddle.
What huddle? There's just this one is stood next to this one. And the rest of you are still stood where I was speaking to you before. Look, huddle or no huddle, I believe that if I am proven right, that we can go back to our old way of life. That this unholy convent will be put to rest and nobody will listen to them again. They were making prophecies for the last thousands of years that this city would fall due to our new ways and these things. I believe that if we go back, everybody will just put them to hearsay again. And another
what happens
thing,
if
we don't manage to take the city back, we'll all be dead anyway.
And what happens if Priestess Evrivor has a little accident? Would that help or hinder the cause?
As much as that would please me, I would rather not do this through any overt tricks.
Other than
Gotcha.
lying about you're gone, talking to you in a vision.
That was subverse.
Protea, about the first thing, I have a really horrible suspicion that given they think they found their 5 divine champions, we won't be allowed to pop off down the road again.
Oh, but the heads. Oh, they'll have disintegrated by the time we come back.
You are allowed to do as you wish. I will not make you do anything. And neither will my people. These aren't really my people. And he sort of like indicates to all the goblins outside, these are just all the goblins in the local area. They really listen to anybody who's kind of big and scary.
Oh.
They won't stop you.
No, that's fairly consistent with my previous home of recruitment. If you're at least slightly scary, they'll be loyal. Malice, you're the wielder of quite a great axe now. You can speak for yourself.
I don't think I have any thoughts to say.
Oh, sorry, I thought you had your hand up a second ago.
There's
I
just
did,
like
and then I didn't anymore.
Oh,
there's just like a look of like regret going across Rolvuk's face as he looks up upon Malice. He's just like,
Oh.
what have I done?
Oh dear.
Malice shrinks into himself. Just a little.
you've got this. As we all maniacally nod at you.
Look, if you want to go take the heads of these orcs and claim your reward, then please do so. The camp will be here. I will wait a 5-day for you. And if you don't return in the 5 days, then I guess I'll improvise.
We could do some shopping.
We'll
We
have lots
could.
of money. Will they believe that 2 orcs killed 147 adventurers?
If we tell them they were mutated orcs,
Maybe. And they only went out in sort of groups of 5. It's very strange how it's always a group of 5.
Oh no, they came in multiple sizes of groups.
I mean, would you want us to tell the truth that actually there's a whole multiple clans of goblins hiding in a cave going to take over the world, or should we be really convincing about the orcs?
Well, it's up to you, really. I mean, if you do come after us and try to slaughter us all, I'll know where you stand. Okay, I see. This is the wrong crowd.
There are worse plans.
I would laugh, but it hurts.
Bless you, Hannah.
At this point, Veracity has been struggling to hold in her yawns, but she has just rolled a 6 on a Constitution saving throw.
Just he yawns in his face.
Pretty much. They were quite big orcs, and we already did some fighting. So it's been a lot of fighting today. Could it maybe be some sleeping soon?
Bedtime.
Yeah.
May you
My home
present
is
it
your-
with some quarters, or just anywhere around here?
He looked around like his bedroom, and he's like, I mean, this is where I sleep. Everybody else
perfect.
kind of sleeps. Okay.
It wouldn't do for your champions to be seen as less powerful, surely.
Plus, I'd rather avoid that priestess.
He looks at you with like such disdain in his eyes because he knows that you're right, but he also like knows that this is all. We all know this is bullshit. Like, I
yes.
just told you that is bullshit.
Can I look him dead in the eyes and go, look, if you're going to lie, you need to make it convincing. So, good night, everyone. I'll see you in the morning. And Protea like looks over at where's the comfy bed.
Yeah,
He's
I was
already
saying it's
in it.
not really a comfy bed. It's more of like a floor mat that has a few more pelts
Great.
than the rest of the floor.
And we'll gesture Veracity over to it.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm used to like the floor.
You are a child. and you are growing.
But I only need about that much of the bed.
And I'm only going to grow like that much.
I will go from 2'4" to 2'5". It's very nice of you, but you were used to comfy things, and I don't need them. You should someone who's used to comfy things should take them.
All right.
Thanks. It was very nice of you. Thank you for thinking of me. I didn't think you did that. Wow, that came out way shadier than
Protea looks genuinely a bit like fucked off about that. All right, good night. And
Do you just get in the king's bed?
pretty much.
Rolvet like looks around at the rest of you and he's like, well, I guess I'll be sleeping fully clothed tonight. And then like sort of like hunkers down on the floor somewhere and sits and then like thinks about it and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go get some food and then I'll be back. And I don't know, I'm explaining to what my plans are. I'm not used to this level of informality is, and he walks out.
Don't forget, you are a king.
He looks back at you and he's like,
Good night.
what? And then looks at Malice and he's like, what did that mean?
You know what it means.
He leaves. So, you guys sort of settle down for the evening. Is there any conversations or other things that would like to be happening?
I don't have a conversation, but sorry.
No, go for it.
Vega would be doing a sort of somewhere between like some yoga stretches and like cat stretching.
Aww.
And then kind of curl up and sort of get a bit comfy.
Look at his face.
It's adorable.
I like the idea that that's all in character, like out loud whilst Vega's stretching.
Oh, I'd be too scared.
Mood.
If there is space for it, Veracity would sidle over to Malice at some point. I don't know what Malice would be doing.
Probably just looking at the axe, looking at a bed, and just kind of.
Malice, when we were talking, when everyone else spent a really long time in the bathroom, and I don't understand why, when we were talking and we were trying to show off about how great we were, you said that you weren't great and you hadn't done great things, but I think you're great. You did loads and loads of hitty things with the orcs and with the bugbears before, and you can do really cool, creepy things. And I know you said maybe slightly dodgy decisions, but yeah, that's okay. That doesn't mean you're not brilliant.
Thank you, little one. That's nice to hear. But big one. Thank you, big one. That's nice of you to say, but it always goes well at first. You understand? I'm good at the hitting things until there's some sort of, I don't know, the heroes tend to have some sort of rally, or there's always has a dip, and then they come back stronger than ever, and then I get just destroyed, and then I have to hide and find a new thing. So I'm just, please don't put too much hope on me.
Okay, but like I had that bit too. My last adventure, we had a lovely time and we killed things, and then we killed bigger things and we saved the world, and then we had an argument and we were all very cross at each other, but then we came back strong and it was going to be a happy ending, and then I did a stupid thing and everything went wrong and terrible. So that doesn't, I'm still great.
Wait, things went wrong and terrible, but you're still great?
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
Oh, it's really boring. You don't want to hear.
I want to hear. I like boring things.
I feel like you and Malice were actually the only two people that stayed whilst talking to Elvira, Elravor. So actually, I think you have heard most of this story.
Oh yeah.
I would not at all have told the nasty priestess
about
Drusilda.
Okay. Well, then you've heard all the good parts of that story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you heard all the good parts before, and then it just all went a bit wonky, and I lost all my friends. But
You lost your friends.
they tried very hard for me not to lose them, but I thought it'd be a good idea to lose them so that they didn't have to keep. It's fine. I got confused. I was trying to cheer you up, and I have not done a good job.
Now I need to cheer you up. Look at my funny face.
It's a very silly face. It's a very nice axe. You look a bit scared of it, but I think you'll look really good when you hit it. Hit things with it. Don't hit the axe. I don't know how axes work.
I could hit the axe. I wonder if that would. I'll try it later.
It might make the king a bit cross.
Maybe. I will try it in private. Thank you for my little pep talk, big one. And
You could just go with veracity. That's okay, because I'm not very big, but I don't like it when people point out that I'm little.
well, I'm not going to call you big veracity. That just sounds a bit weird.
That is very strange. How about veracity with no adjectives?
No,
other than
no,
great.
No, this is a friendship thing. I read
Okay.
about this once. You do silly names that are supposed to be endearing, but they're not
Oh.
necessarily literal descriptions.
Oh dear.
Can I do that?
Yes?
Hooray! We are now friends, big one. Oh, I made my first friend.
Okay. I'm going to sleep now.
Ah, I'm too excited to sleep. You have a good night.
Okay. Creep away and put some space between veracity and malice.
Beautiful. Anything anybody else would like to do before the evening sets down properly?
Can I just kind of wave Jamie over and just say, I made a friend?
Now, that is definitely a tick in the book. I haven't even managed to tick that one up yet. Good job.
Veracity heads over to Jamie then.
You've got a new axe. Have you figured out what this axe actually can do?
No, I've got no fucking clue. I might have to stare at it for a while and hope that numbers float just around my head and it makes
No.
sense.
I can't do it myself, but I don't know, it might be worth speaking to Protea. I don't know if she's got certain magical information ascertaining techniques.
She may do, but she terrifies me.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. So, you know when everything happened in our past and our failures that we keep strong on our shoulders and learn from, you don't need to serve anybody anymore. You are yourself. You were the person that was given that axe. I feel like the family, the mother, and everybody else would like to see us both be our own people now. And well, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of done serving people.
It's all well and good for you to say, but you've only been serving people, what, 40 years? I've been doing it nearly 200.
Well, that's a valid point. You know, the learning curve is very different. No, that's definitely true. But why don't you just start off with trying to have like a conversation with Protea? I mean, you can still imagine her as your superior if you wish, but like pretend that you're undercover and you can't actually refer to your overlord as the boss, and you have to pretend that you guys are like on a level playing field, but you know in your head that they are still the boss.
Okay. I will try.
Okay, I'll be writing my diary in the corner. Let me know how it goes. And I would love to know about the axe as well.
Okay, I might do it. I might. Okay. I got
Wish I was a
this.
bard right now. I'd just be like, inspiration. Can I give you anything? I feel like vicious mockery would not be very nice. No, I cannot. So, have fun.
Hello,
Sling.
Protea.
Sorry, hi.
Sir.
Is it morning already? Oh, God. Oh.
I was hoping you could use some of your sick knowledge, bro, on this axe for shizzle.
I'm doing a flat roll to see if...
I knew it was going to backfire, but I didn't realise.
What role are you making? What role are you making?
Whether gullibility, I suppose. Like,
what are you trying to determine? Are you making a saving throw?
do you know, I was just trying to see whether Protea would like adopt this language. I mean, we've all heard, just because I know I've heard public school girls use horrible slang, deeply inappropriate, terrible slang. And I wanted to see. So I don't know what role that would be. Would that be?
I'd say make a charisma saving throw.
Excellent.
You've got to get a 10 to pass. But after you do make your roll, can you minus a d12 for me, please?
And what's the
Incredible.
point? Right. I'm just going to roll. Okay, so that's 12. And then I have to minus a d12.
Yeah, just roll a d12 and whatever you get minus that.
Okay. So that's a flat. So that's a flat 10.
Oh, so you pass. But can you minus another d10 for me, please? So you feel compelled.
Why am I being attacked?
Hey, look, at least I'm using them now. Rather than when, you've got to dodge a dragon, fire breath or something.
Right.
You
so
feel
that's,
compelled to use said
that's a
language.
7.
Isn't
That's
it,
a
bro?
7. That's a 7. Can you give me the line again, Evie, please?
Okay. Sup, bro. I was hoping you could use some of that knowledge in your noggin and tell me about this axe for shizzle.
Oh my god, that sounds so cool. Well, bro, my what knowledge in my noggin are you looking for?
Oh no.
Shizzle.
I was hoping you could tell me how righteous this is. And if it's like straight magic, yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, it is totally righteous. I can tell you that from looking at it. But are you sorry? Are you asking me? Yeah, Niall, you made your bed. Now I have to lie in it, and so does the rest of everybody watching.
I'm so happy.
Are you sorry? I love this. Are you asking me whether you can attune to it, or whether it is magic?
Can you just tell me like kind of what the deal with it is? Like there's
The dealio.
obviously something funky
Yes.
going on.
Okay, am I rolling Arcana or History, or what am I rolling?
I think if you don't have the identify spell, then you have to roll an Arcana check to do your best.
Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's do that. Okay, so that is a 22. No,
Oh,
23.
Ooh.
Okay. You sort of give it a look over, and it's very heavy for you. I mean, what's your strength again?
Not great. I'm only wee.
And it's a big battle axe. But you can sort of see the recognizable sort of carvings of like arcane power that have been put into it in arcane ruins. And you can tell that it is a magical item. You can tell that it's extremely powerful. that this might, like you've seen, I think we discussed before with the last magic items that were in the Predator's lair up for sale, this would outsell all of them. Like, this is the most expensive thing you've probably ever put your eyes on. This is like some top tier magic, kind of legendary, one might say.
I communicate that. Can I read anything in the runes? As in, like, what sort of thing you would need to, what benefits it confers beyond it being like a really sick axe?
You gather that it'll strengthen the user, and that's probably about as much as you can deem without the identify spell.
I don't have it on me, sadly. I can try and learn it overnight. But that would be an interesting use of limited spells. I convey all this information to Malice and then go, it'll totes strengthen you as well.
Sorry, did you say you have the spell? Identified, just not prepared.
I'm just checking because I have a lot of spells. Spell book.
Yeah, it's different if you don't have it. If you don't have it prepared, it's a ritual spell, so you can just catch it.
I don't have it. I've got like.
Yeah. Then you can't cast the spell at all. You just never learned it, essentially.
No, didn't need to. So yeah.
Until now.
Yeah. Yes, I've only got 19 known at the minute. So yeah. So I pass on that information. I don't know the specific axe. Cool though it is. Rad though it is. But I can tell you it will make you well strong.
Ooh. Okay. Thank you, bro.
No worries, bro, Cephas. All right. Sleep well.
What have I done?
will, homie. I'm just going to finger gun out of there.
And Protea will do this back because she doesn't.
Beautiful.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah.
I think at the finger gun point, Rolver comes back in, sees it, ignores it, goes to go to his bed, but notices everybody's taking it over and sort of just goes near his backpack and puts his head down on top of it, and you just hear this and he closes his eyes and goes to sleep. The rest of you drift off into a lovely, wonderful sleep.
And we hit that sweet, sweet long rest button.
Yeah, hit that sweet, sweet long rest button.
Goodness.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Malice, you are in a bath. It's rather warm, but also rather refreshing, weirdly. It's comforting. And as you come out of your bath, these large snakes start to come towards you and follow you out of this large stone room that's well lit and beautifully decorated with multicolours and flowers and vases and all sorts of beautiful decoration. As you exit out, you can see this vast forest and jungle that is beautiful, and above that is this wonderful blue sky, and the sun is beating down and it's wonderful and warm, and you feel the battle axe at your side, and you hold it and you take it and you raise it in your arms, and below you is a human laid out in front of you, just in a loincloth, awake. You notice a bottle next to them, and their eyes stare at you fearfully, and you know there is nothing they can do to stop you as you slam the axe into their chest, pull out their heart and consume it. And as you do so, you thank your axe, Shaylee. And you wake up the next morning, refreshed with everybody else. you now know that your axe will give you a +3 to rolls and damage. Your resistance to poison damage. You also gain a +1 to your AC. You're able to cast Conjure Animals once per day at 5th level, but it's only snakes that you can conjure. And can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Is it cursed? Extremely cursed.
It's a 12.
When you wake up, your teeth feel bigger, and you notice that you're starting to develop rather sharp canines, very similar to Vega's. Just slowly.
Just feels a little odd.
But you're like, I've definitely what happened to my mouth.
Huh.
Can you roll me 2d12s, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Don't do it. It's trapped.
Nah, if you don't do it, I'll do it.
I was a 12 and a 5.
Ah. 17 in total, you say. Excellent. Yeah, you wake up. It's the morning, everyone. Morning's here.
Sorry, I'm just bemused by this teeth chat.
I had the weirdest dream. And now my teeth feel a bit weird. Do they look okay?
Malice sort of like gurns at you all, and there are these large sort of fangs, almost like vampire teeth, sticking out of her mouth. His mouth, sorry.
Did you not have them before?
I don't think so. Maybe?
I don't.
I can't say I really paid much attention to your teeth until right now.
I have a pretty good base, I think. I would have a base perception. I would have seen them. My, what big teeth you have this morning, Malice. Very fearsome. Congratulations.
Thank you. They are fearsome. If you say they are. Anyway, I had a weird dream about my axe. It turns out it's really kick-ass, and its name is Shenane? No.
Shenane.
I hope it. I am changing it to Shenane. I'm genuine. Shenane is now the. You hear in your head, yes, Master Shenane. It's my name now.
Writing that down? Okay.
I'm spelling it weird as well to make myself have fun. Shunay. Nay. Yeah, I've spelled it Shunaeene.
Shunane.
Wizard, or rather not. Okay. Well, I reckon we trudge back to town. We'll be back in 5 days, O King. Unless Veracity doesn't want to, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that reminds me. Veracity, roll a con save.
Oh.
11.
Okay. You feel the pull to leave, but it's very gentle at the moment. It is like that horrible feeling where you feel like you've got something in your mouth. I don't know if anybody else it's like cotton wool in your mouth, even though you don't. And that's all you can think about for a second. And then you're like, oh no, that's that horrible feeling I get whenever I want to leave.
Yeah. Why would I not want to come back? And why would that matter to you? It's fine.
I mean, we'll have a chat about this on the road, surely.
Yeah, should we go?
Yeah.
If I'm maybe remembering incorrectly, don't we need to take the heads back?
Yes.
Or-
Yes. Can we pick those up and then come back?
Rulvik stands and he sort of like looks at himself, and you see him like cast prestidigitation on himself, and he cleans up and he's like, yes, if you would like to go down and take the heads as part of your, are they to mark that you've actually done the job, I guess?
More or less, yeah. And then I also cast Presti, not just on myself, but on the rest of the party as well. So we look nice and presentable.
Malice, maybe you'd like to try out your new axe.
Yes, that sounds good.
All right,
Try
go on
out
then.
your new teeth.
Wait, am I trying it out on my teeth?
No, don't
No,
try out
on
your
the
new
orcs.
teeth. Yeah.
On the orc heads.
Oh, yeah, I could get them real beaten up.
Well, they're already dead. We just need to cut the head off.
Oh, right. Okay, say no more. Okay, I got you. I'm on the same page. I go and chop a head off.
So you all start to head outside the tent, Malice leading the charge. You go through the bedroom tent into the main area, and then as you exit into the morning sun, there are the 8 hobgoblin priests all sort of stood in a row waiting for you. They have these like bowls of red powder, and as you walk out, Malice, one of them like picks up some and throws it at you. And as the rest of you start to join, you each sort of get this weird red powder thrown at you as you start to leave. They're like chanting some sort of like words, and you see El Revor, I believe I called him. Yes, El Revor. Naming your NPCs. There's so many of them. El Revor looks at you as you start to leave and just says, "Best of luck, champions," and smiles a very passive-aggressive smile.
Can I match? Can I meet and match that passive-aggressive smile, please?
Make a performance check. It's very passive-aggressive.
What's the D&D equivalent of K full stop? That's all Jamie's doing.
Say again.
What's the equivalent of K full stop?
Just ignoring someone, isn't it, really? Let's be honest.
It's an 8 on the dice. It doesn't work.
You do more of a grimace, and it's more obvious that you're being passive aggressive, whereas hers is like that horrible line of, Are you being a bitch?
Mm.
I don't think this guy likes me.
Yeah, great.
Vega, your eyes like sort of get a bit fiery, and like almost like, not like you've got chili powder in your eyes, but you can almost feel like a heat behind them for a second. And there are like flashes of red and oranges colors, but then it passes almost as quickly as it appears.
Is that from the powder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very clearly from the powder. Everybody else though seems to have a fine. It's just having powder thrown in your face. So, Malice, you boop your way down to the pits.
Yep. I'm
Find
trying to
your-
look as fearsome as I can.
Nice. Make a performance check, I guess.
Yeah, sure. That is a flat 8.
Ooh.
You like start to swing your arms and you accidentally slap a goblin in the face. But because you accidentally did it, you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and the goblin's like, like sort of runs off.
Oh no, my reaction when that happens is always to punch them in the face now.
Oh, excellent. So you slap him,
Instead
I'm
of saying sorry,
He
it's
looks
just-
at you and then you just deck him in the face. Everybody just sort of looks at you like, what just...
Malice, are you all right? What?
Yes, I was just apologizing.
That's not how you apologize. That's an.
Are you sure? A goblin told me how to do this.
I would probably not take advice from goblins when it comes
these
to
are
social
goblins.
etiquette. Well, yes, I suppose you have a point there, but
Awesome. You
that's maybe
swagger
not how you
your
want to apologize when we leave here.
Okay. Well,
Say sorry. It's much simpler.
Sorry?
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
Nailing
Yeah,
it.
that works.
So you
Good.
guys head down. You
Very
guys
cool.
head down to the pit, where the monster orcs are. Would you like to roll a survival check to decapitate?
Sure.
It's more of a flavor thing than anything. You'll get their head.
Okay, so that was actually a natural 20, but -1. So
Ooh.
But
Well.
still, we get a card.
You do, Evie. You get to succeed on an attack roll at any point you choose.
excellent. Very
That'll
easy.
come in useful at some point. So yeah, please make a mark of that. Ugh. All right. Yeah, but with a natural 20, the cleanest cuts you've ever cut. Maybe it's this new axe. Maybe it's your new lease on life of learning how to say sorry and apologizing for your actions. But you managed to decapitate the two orc monster-fied creatures' heads clean off and bag 'em and tag 'em, as they say in the business.
What business?
The orc hunted business.
For shizzle.
Oh Lord. Okay. So, do you head back to the Predator's lair via the Northern Trade Route?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It takes you a few hours, but because you know the way, you know it's safe now, you get there rather quickly. In terms of from when you try to get to where you were going. Getting back is rather simple. As you enter the city, the town of Blackrock, you notice that there are like a few people who have been like living there that recognize you from when you first went out. And they already like start to like, one of them's like, honey, get the coin, they're back. and like you see like a family like going, oh my god, and they're like running in, getting coin, and then running over to the Predator's lair to get there before you, kind of thing. You see a few people doing that. You see a few people be like screaming and like into the dirt because they've clearly lost a bet. And you eventually arrive at the Predator's lair, the palm trees signifying the wonderful tacky decor of the outside. And when you arrive, there is a roar of cheers and approval as you enter into the Predator's lair. And you can see the screens flashing and changing colors as basically marks your arrival, and it marks all bets can be returned now and things like that. You hear a little tannoy as Hank Marvin over the tannoy basically calls off that bet and cancels it for forevermore, and tells you that you can pick up your winnings at the bank.
I think Vega would be like walking through the crowd, like waving and like shaking people's hands and doing the whole like victorious champion bit.
Oh, there's definitely people like shaking your hand and patting you on the back. There's like a few people just like nodding, like, good job, you know that. Yeah, I was gonna do it next, but you got it first. Who goes up to the bank first, I guess? Or what do you want to do first?
Collect my 24,000 gold, please, now.
Cool. So you all line up. Vega, you get 2,700 gold pieces. You get 24,000 Veracity. You get 24,000 Protea. Malice, you get 360. And Jamie, you get 300. And then together, you all get as a group 7,500 gold pieces
Let me.
to split between the five of you.
So, sorry, could you say that again, slower, for my brain?
Of course.
It's
So
falling apart.
Protea, you got 24,000.
Thank you.
and then you get the 7,500 to split between you.
I'm over carrying capacity.
Wow.
You should have marked that off your sheet because they'd
Is
have
it-
given you it in platinum.
Did you say it was 7,500 between us?
Yes.
Cool.
1,500.
So
1,500 each, yeah.
thank you, G.
Thanks. That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
That weighs more than Veracity.
That's a lot of gold.
We are very, very rich. Some of us for the first time, some of us not.
Oh, how is Protea? Is she playing this cool, or is this more money than she's ever seen?
I don't think money means anything to her. I think it's it's
She's that rich.
Well, not necessarily. It's more like, you know how some people break a laptop and then they just go, I'll just get another one.
Yeah.
It's not like it's unthinking wealth rather than new money, where you're very conscious of having and of not, and of having more than everyone else. So yeah, it's more like fab. Well, this will, maybe I'll get myself a little place, set myself up. My own place, not living in one of the houses. I can decorate,
That
but
sounds lovely.
oh gosh, well, I mean, you're welcome. There'll be room.
Yeah, thanks.
Could I? And is there like a place where letters can be sent or messages?
Yeah.
If I hear Protea asking for that, Veracity will just go, I can send a message for you for nothing if you want. With my brain.
Thank you, but there's something really delicious about doing it in writing.
Okay. You're going to get flavoured paper?
I mean, I could.
Okay.
I could.
Sure.
So, Protea, what are you going to do?
I'm writing two duplicate letters, basically. One to the parents and one to my middle brother. Middle sibling, sorry. And no, my middle sibling's here. Yes. So Theros is he, him. And one to Boreas and Dorythea, my parents, which just says, hello, hope you're doing well. Won the bet. Don't expect me home for tea. Off on another one. You know how it is. Hugs and kisses, Protea. As in the bare minimum of information and just sort of showing off a little bit. And then another one to, a third letter to Kaimon, who is my eldest sibling. And I don't know where Kaimon is, do I?
No, that'll be the hardest part. You would have to send the letter to your parents to send to Kaimon.
Yeah. And the letter will probably read something like, off to deal with some goblins. Bit in over my head. Love you lots. Stay warm. Protea. And that's about it.
You haven't heard back from Kaimon for quite a few years now. And do you write letters quite regularly?
Yeah.
So is this more symbolic than anything?
I suppose.
Or do
Is
you
that what
actually
you-
give it to your parents, is what I mean?
Oh, no, I would still give it to them to pass along. It's like when you've got a family member with dementia or, you don't know whether they'll respond, but on the off chance if they hear it or if they see it. So it's that kind of vibe.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, you send those letters off. The rest of you, what are you doing?
I think Vega would go and get some tasty food with his blood money now.
Nice.
And in a sort of similar but opposite way to Protea, I guess, Vega hasn't ever really thought much about money and having money, like being in sort of gladiatorial thing. He lived in the arena and so was like fed as part of being there and being part of that whole system, and had sort of the stuff he needed provided, and was never that fussed about having lots of things. But now he's got a bit of cash, so he maybe goes and has a look at what shops are around and what he can buy.
In terms of food, or in terms of like just stuff?
In terms of just stuff, I think he would get some tasty food. He knows he likes food, so that's something he would have investigated already with what the little money he had. But there would have been something that he'd earmarked as like, oh, that looks pretty tasty, but it's a bit pricey for me now. But now he's like, yeah, actually, I'm going for that. Like, I'm going
Like
for
charred dragon
pulled
meat,
pork covered steak, you know.
Pulled dragon meat over over purple worm. In terms of shop, there is the Predator's Lair gift shop, which has all your wonderful trinkets that you could expect. Embroidered T-shirts with the Predator's Lair logo, which is like a large sort of what's the word? Where it's a logo of like a lizard head rather than a dragon. So it is a lizard folk head, presumably after Slathazar, the owner, and it's kind of very similar to how like Dungeons or D&D has that wonderful like dragon logo. It's very similar to that, but a lizard folk. And then you can get your keychains for your swords, all sorts, whatever. Your wristbands, your boots. You can get all sorts at the gift shop. But then of course there is the magic shop, which is still thingied off. You get your food. I imagine that's the first thing you do, and as you take a bite out of it, you notice that the first bite tastes like ash and blood, and you like have another taste and it tastes normal again.
I might need to make a roll. Do I think it's connected to the red powder?
I think if you think that, then that's enough. If you want to make a wisdom roll or something for Vega, that's also cool. But I think if UG are making that connection, then I'm happy for Vega to make that connection.
Okay. Okay. I'll leave that for now.
Put that in a box. Store that for later. That's tomorrow's problem, my friend. Okay. So, would you like to go to a certain shop? Would you like to get some sort of cheap merchandise from the Predator's Lair gift shop?
I don't think
like
you get anything
book of shop. Like Volo's Guide to Monsters or something.
Actually, yeah, but you might buy a book. I think the Guide to Monsters is a good call. Actually, he would, because he's surprised, like I said, sort of surprised himself by how much he actually enjoyed going out and doing stuff with the party. And so I was thinking maybe if I'm doing that more, I should find out actually about what monsters might be out there, because it's mostly people that he's fought so far.
Okay. You can now make nature checks at advantage when coming across monsters. If you make a successful DC 15 check, I'll give you like some piece of information about them. Okay. If you make a 20, I'll give you like a substantial piece of information, like some good stuff that'll help. But for a 15, you'll get things that are like, there's usually more than one of these. You know what I mean? But yeah, so you can write that down wherever you need to write that down. You now have
All right.
Volo's Guide to Monsters where you can make nature checks at advantage.
Cool. Thanks.
No worries.
I mean, do I have to hit a 20 to get anything useful? Because my nature is -1.
You've got it at advantage, so if you get a natural 20, you get a natural 20.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Cool. Thanks.
That's really funny. I didn't realize that's what we were going to, but that's beautiful. I didn't plan that. It's the magic of D&D, I guess. The rest of you?
Buy something cool.
The gift shop or the magic shop?
Magic shop.
Malice?
I was gonna find some philosophy books.
Some philosophy books. Awesome. Okay. I reckon at the gift shop, there's probably like Volo's Guide to Adventuring, where it kind of like talks about the philosophy of adventuring, what adventuring means, and loads of different adventurers. And it's more like a collection of stories from different adventurers, like world famous adventurers, and their perspectives on adventuring and their stories of adventuring. There's like one by someone called Hey, just give me a second. NPCs with names, who'd have thought? I'm gonna keep singing until I get my sheet up, which has loads of NPC names. Oh, it's not there. Gotta go back. Where was it? It's there. NPC names. Oh, I've opened a different webpage. Quinnell Cummings.
Oh no, please.
Okay.
Really?
I mean, you're the one with the dirty mind, not me. Bethan Catanach? Is that better?
No.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, Chandra Mukhtar?
We'll take it. Quinnell Cummings?
I liked the name. I thought it was a cool name.
Mm-hmm.
Don't shame me and my enjoyment of making names. I spent a long time on this list.
I'm sorry.
I'm just joking. I don't really care. Chandra Mukhtar speaks a lot about how adventuring is going out and doing dangerous things and killing people with no consequence. Because why would there ever be? You're an adventurer. The petty lives of peasants mean nothing to going out and killing monsters and destroying the nation by being an adventurer. And that's the first chapter that you managed to get into for a couple of gold.
Is there anything existential?
Okay, like the reason of being.
Yeah.
Roll a
I'm not
D100.
angling for an advantage here. I'm just looking for Malice wants to dig deep. He's having a lot of existential crises.
Roll me a D100, and on a 25 or below, you'll find a very, very astute book on existentialism.
I got 22.
Fuck me. Yolmar Fagdud is a... No, not that one. Not allowed that one.
Go
no,
for it.
what? Okay, Yolmar says there's a book on existentialism and talking about it's why are we here is it's why with a Y and then R with an R and then the rest is spelled normal. But the book is titled Why Are We Here? And it's kind of the blurb sort of states Yolmar Fagdud was a monk that spent many years in the mountains trying to search for meaning within a world of gods and multiple origin stories. And in this book, it describes how to find one's inner peace from oneself. And you have like a little brief flick through of the book, and it sort of asks you questions a lot. Like each chapter is like a question. It's like, what do you believe? And then talks about how you were brought up in like a civilization with a certain set of rules and a certain way of thinking, and that you never really got to choose how you believe. and then it goes on to the next page, which is like, but did you? And then it sort of talks about how maybe we're more than just the spirit and the body, and that maybe we did choose to grow up in this certain area, and maybe everything is our possibilities. And just from skimming through, you find more questions than answers, but that's because you've not finished reading it yet.
I'll take it.
Awesome. It's just a couple of gold. Jamie and Veracity, are you going to the gift shop to get something, or are we going to the magic shop with Protea?
Well, I mean,
the gift shop has a very good percentage of anything there, apparently, which I can't believe. But yes,
unless Veracity's up to something else, Jamie will actually sort of saddle up to Veracity and be like, would you like to go to the magic shop together?
I think so, yes. What do you want to get?
I have no idea. I'd just be very excited to see what you're looking at and maybe have a little gander.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I
think I know what I want.
I'm very interested to see with all that coin.
Yeah, also I think probably more than I can spend. So if you want some help with something that means we might come home from the war that we're going to, please shout, because that would be good.
Yes, I feel like we should look at kitting up Vega as well. Maybe the people that are going to be taking the brunt of the force.
Yeah. I don't normally stand at the front, but if something hits me, I am a bit squishy, so I was thinking I might find some armor. Because gestures to her very burnt and charred leather armor. I think maybe I could find something a little bit better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something definitely. Or I don't know if you've seen any more simplistic. I've noticed a couple of people walking around with them, and she sort of shows off her rings and cloaks. So I don't know if they've got anything like that, which is a little bit more subtle.
Oh, well, and Veracity pulls out, she has an amber pendant. My mum gave me this before I was sent away from home, and that makes me a little bit stronger. Well, not stronger, but it makes me a bit harder to hit. So I have one already, but I think maybe good old armor might be right. What I have heard of is there's a sort of breastplate made of a material called adamantine, which means if someone does a super clever lucky hit against you, it sort of doesn't hurt as much as it should. I wonder if they have some of that in the shop.
Let's go find out.
And as you approach the shop, the queues are rather long, but there is one empty one. And as you walk towards that empty one, it's the same gift with the same piercings all over their face, and they look up from their job and they look at all of you and they're like, the book out, they open it up. And that's where we'll take a break. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. We're probably going to stop for about 5-10 minutes now. We'll be back in 5-10 minutes for part 2, Electric Boogaloo of episode 3, Into the Wastelands, the Eternal Army. What will happen? Will Malice finally find inner peace? Who knows? Will Vega finally figure out what that horrible scent is and shit that keeps messing with him? Who knows? Will Protea shove it up her brother? Who knows? We'll find out next.
Phrasing.
Bye. Goodbye. Hello. Welcome to part 2, Electric Boogaloo of Into the Wastelands, the Eternal Army. We left. We last left our wonderful adventurers staring down a nonplussed gith with lots of piercings on their face, slowly turning the book of available magic items. They look you all up and down and then look back in the book and they say, as previously stated, we have an Atlas of Endless Arising, a Ring of Free Action, a Shadowfell Shard, a Ring of Rams, Ring of Spell Storing, a Bag of Beans, a Rubber Vise, a Staff of Healing, a Ventilating Lungs, Soul Folger, and we have the normal Potions of Healing, a Common, a Great, a Superior, and Supreme, all at different prices. Please tell me which one you would like, and I will tell you the price. And then they put the book to the screen so that you can all see.
Hello. Please, could I have the Staff of Healing and the Bag of Beans? Because it'll be funny.
Staff of Healing will put you up 3,500, and the Staff of and the Bag of Beans is a further 4,000. So altogether, that'll be 7,500.
Please, could I also get a Superior Healing Potion for the ouches?
Superior.
And that's a whole £10,000, which surely means 10,000 gold, which surely means I get a discount.
There's just like a really long silent pause as you see in this gith's eyes, God, I don't get paid enough for this. Do you want to make a persuasion roll?
I do. Would anyone like to help me?
Jamie will saddle up behind him with the potential for more purchases.
This is an extremely hateful gift. The DC, as set, is 20.
Well, that's fine, because I rolled a 17 and a 19, so that's 21 total.
Whee!
They turn down to this like little pad they've got that they've been making calculations on. Go, Give you a 10% discount from 9,000.
Okay, thank you very much. I like your piercings. Did they hurt?
This one did. And they point to like the one in their cheek. They're like, you know, the ones that like sort of like pinch in. I point to that one, like that one did, because the one that did it kind of caught my cheekbone.
Ow. Does it still hurt?
I don't know. And they like wiggle it a little. I don't know.
Okay.
They wait for you to put the gold in. A little drawer comes out.
I put the gold in.
It shooks back in. They turn and they go, you can collect your items over there. And there's like a little deposit station that's just like a wall. And then written in paint, that's like gold paint, says deposit station in calligraphy. And as you walk over to it, the wall sort of like opens up into this sort of like almost like ethereal cosmic plane of existence where like there's like wonderful galaxies and swirling stars, and in the middle of this like swirling sky is a Staff of Healing and a Bag of Beans just floating aimlessly, and a Superior Healing Potion that you just need grab.
Thank you very much.
You hear from the gift. Next.
Sorry, 1 second, as she sort of passes by the booth over to where Veracity was getting her stuff, and it's like, I'm a little embarrassed. I wasn't actually going to buy anything, but now I've seen the list. Could you spot me some coin?
As in stick coins to you like spots?
No, could you give me some money?
Oh, is it going to keep you alive when we go to war?
It will mean that I will be able to see anybody trying to attack us.
Yeah.
3,000? Okay.
That's fine. I don't know what to do with all of this. It's very silly. I'd rather make it go away. So
Yes, well, if you can bank some of it, you should. I believe you should invest in your future.
That's pointless. I don't have a future. Yeah, that's fine.
I feel like, as someone, well, I don't think I'm that much older than you, but I feel like maybe we should talk about that. And she takes the but let's buy this stuff and then we'll get back together with the group. And she sort of like nervously walks off. Goes and grabs the robe of eyes.
Excellent. Yeah, 3,000 gold for a robe of eyes.
Now, what colour is the robe of eyes? Is it going to clash with the ivy green motif? Is the question.
Wall opens up. As the wall opens up, you can see within this cosmic space is that, thankfully, it's not a clashing color. It's a nice black robe, and the eyes are golden and silver and purple, and there's loads of different irises that look out. They're all quite, sort of like that Egyptian sort of style texture kind of look. So they all match, but just have different colors that pop out. And they do sort of move with kind of like a 3D-esque sort of feel to them, even though they're not.
That's so cool.
Beautiful. Yes, she will don it. And start showing it off to Veracity to see what she thinks.
You didn't tell me it was going to be beautiful. You look beautiful. That is fantastic.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. I do slightly feel like I've just taken the candy from a child, but I appreciate the loan.
I mean, if we're being very literal, then yes, you did. But also, it's definitely fine. I would much rather you had it and maybe we all stayed alive.
We could stay here and wait for the guys to catch up, or do you want to go get a drink and wait for them to show?
I do want something to make me a bit harder to hit, so it might be a bit tacky, but do you think the gift shop's got some?
Let's go get a look. Go have a look. Take the lead.
Sweet. So as you two head to the gift shop. Yeah, excellent. As you two head to the gift shop, the three of you, any magic items you'd like to purchase?
I tap a claw on the screen and go, the ring of the ram, and I want a greater healing potion as well.
Ring of ram. And they type in 3,500, and the greater healing potion would be 250 gold. That'd set you back 3,750 gold pieces.
Here you go. Shove it in the tray.
Sweet. Very similar. The drawer disappears, and from the side, this wonderful cosmic portal opens up into sparkling stars and galaxies, and in the middle is this lovely ring with a ram's head carved in what looks like ram bone, but the horns are made out of this wonderful glistening gold metal. And then next to it is a healing potion, also floating aimlessly into space.
Cool. I take that, I shove the one in my bag and put the other on my finger.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Protea.
Yes. Protea wanders up and goes, so, had a little browse. Could I get the Atlas of Endless Horizons, please, and the Ring of Spell Storing?
Yeah, in total that'll put you up to 8,500.
Oh, perfect. Brilliant. Okay, yes. And she pays out for that. Could I also get 2 superior healing potions, I think?
Yeah, of course. That's just an extra 5,000.
Yes.
in total.
Yes, absolutely. Perfect. Great. Just take that off my tab.
Tab?
Joke. Anyway. Oh, does
The
anybody
gift looks at you and it goes, huh.
does anybody here, do you have in-house magic users that I could talk to for filling up my ring, or no?
They look at you and then they point their finger against the glass, pointing to the litany of adventurers out in the space.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
As you go off to the side and the door opens into the wonderful galaxy as previously described.
Protea tips.
You just on the desk, just leave like a few gold pieces for the gift.
Yeah.
They watch you leave as Malice. You're left the final person at the magic shop.
And I kind of herald Protea as she goes past. My lady, no, home dog.
What's up, my bro?
Can you spot your boy some of that green cash money?
Oh no.
Or for some bling?
It's green? And Protea looks down at the gold.
No, it's like gold money, please. If you have it to spare. If you don't worry.
No, what do you need?
So I only actually have half of. I only have 2,000, and I need 4,000.
Oh gosh, absolutely. And Protea just spills it onto. Oh, because it's in platinum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Protea gives over, having not done the maths at all. Protea gives over 400 platinum pieces.
Nice.
Go wild. I mean, party, my dude.
Thank you, Hobie. I need to think of more names. I'm going to run out soon.
I've got an NPC list if you want it.
No.
I'm just going to be Googling really cringy slang.
Oh, mate. I'm happy to send you some.
A bit of up dog.
Cool. I would like to take the coins I do not understand. And hello?
Nice.
Do you have the Ring of Free Action still in stock?
Yep. It's just 4,000 gold pieces.
Just for here's. I think this is it. It doesn't look like normal gold, but I think this is it.
A little shelf comes out. Whilst you're there, would you mind gold pieces that are on the side there into the tray?
Oh yeah, of course. I've. How many are there?
I don't know. Protea, how much do you do?
It was gold pieces, wasn't it?
Right, it can be whatever you want. If you want to throw down a platinum.
No, I don't. Whoa, fuck. What's 20%?
20% of what you spent.
Would have been another platinum.
It'd have been a lot more than
yeah, no.
but you spent 8,500.
No,
plus
no,
a
I'm not
further
doing
5,000. 20%.
No,
of that
no,
would have been
Niall,
5,000
please don't
gold
put me on blast
pieces.
like this. I put down 200 gold.
Yeah, it's just like a little sack of gold next to the counter.
Okay. While I'm putting that in the tray, I'd like to sleight of hands a little bit up my sleeve.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand against this extremely. Oh, okay.
You've been evil for so long. Okay, that is 14, 15, 16, 17.
Roll me. 2d10. Yeah, d100.
Okay. Okay, so that was. Why did I roll 2 10s of the? That was a 10 and a 30.
That's awesome. You managed to get 40 gold pieces into your sleeves as you put this little bag of gold into the tray. They hit it away and look into the gold piece and like 160 gold, not bad. put it into their pocket, and then they point you over to the little chasm of many happy returns as you go over, and the cosmos looks at you, and within a ring of bending metal that wires around, topped off with a little blue diamond, looks at you, ready to be taken.
I slip it on. Great.
Awesome. So you're all magically decked out, enjoying the festivities of the area. There are still people sort of looking at you, giving you nods. You can see that somebody's gone out to hunt for a big blue dragon, but have been gone for a few days. They just can't seem to find it. But you go to... Yeah?
Sorry, I do not need to roleplay it, but can I find some armor in the gift shop?
Yeah.
Cool.
You can find some studded leather armor in the gift shop. They do have these large, garish Predator's lair symbols all over it, due to the fact it's a merchandising place.
I will char it away with my fire.
Nice. There's also like Kobold's Brew on some of the arms, and Beholder's books, all sorts of things.
Nope, I make it just as charred as the other one, but it ups my AC by 1, which is all I want. Thank you.
Like a part of me is just like, make it magical, Brandy, now. Make it magical. so Veracity can't do this.
No.
You must wear the Predator's lair. No, it's all good. It's just regular make. They don't spend that much on their merchandise. They're made by goblins in a sweatshop.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
Well, that's ruined now.
Slothazar, canonically not a good being.
Yeah, we got that.
Okay.
So at some point, I think maybe I might have been hanging out outside the magic shop, and when Protea comes out, I just want to ask Protea, when they threw that red powder at us back in the goblin village, did that affect you in any way?
I mean, it was disgusting. I just prestidigitated.
But you didn't. I had some sort of reaction, I think. I saw some odd colors, and earlier on, my taste was affected. I was wondering if it's something magical. Would you be able to, I don't know, maybe look in my eyes and see if you can see anything?
I can certainly try. I mean, my taste hasn't been affected at all. But yes, I'll. Oh gosh, what I should have. And this is actually quite taboo to do this to an elemental. I think, like, to affect how they perceive and sense. So, Protea will. Do I have to roll Arcana, or would it be what
are you trying to look for?
Magical effects, I guess.
On the body. Oh well, I guess if it's magical effects that you're looking for, make an Arcana check.
Okay. Let's do it.
Please do it.
I do it.
I did it.
Well, that's a nice. I did it. I think with a roll like this, please, Niall, I understand everything, because that's a 19 plus 8.
Yeah. You understand that there doesn't seem to be any sort of like magical things happening to, like, nothing like from the weave that seems to be happening. Like, there's nothing wrong with Vega at all. No arcane machinations have occurred to Vega, or currently occurring right now. There doesn't seem to be like any curses or anything like that. Like, there's no magical residue. Maybe you pop up detect. Do you have detect magic as a spell?
I have it. I don't think I've got it learnt, but the good thing is I've just got a ring, so it doesn't really matter. I could pop that in for free.
Sure, initially magic. Yeah. But yeah, you can't. There's nothing happening to Vega magically right now.
Right. In which case, I will say, sorry, darling. No. When you said that your taste was affected, do you feel like sneezing? Are your airways closing up? Are you allergic to anything?
No, none of that. It was more like the food tasted like ash, but only for the first mouthful.
You're not cursed. There's no magic on you.
Seemed more like magic, but well, thank you for looking.
No. This is very interesting. Can I then roll an intelligence or a history check, or religion even, because this is the sort of nerd shit she's into?
Religion check would be the best one to do.
Cool. So that is a 13.
You don't know much about Maglabaya, but there did seem to be sort of religious ceremony that they performed on you when you were walking by. What they did, it's only affecting Vega, from what Vega's saying, but you don't know what it is. You don't know much about Maglabaya other than they're a war god. The regular stuff, the imagery of like the flaming battle axe, the flaming eyes, but none of this makes none of, you know what I mean? You just don't know enough about Maglabaya. It's more like, God damn it, I wish I had a book.
Yeah. Sorry, darling. Unless you maybe have, just as a guess, a different god that you're affiliated with, that would be my best guess, but this seems to be religious in nature, not arcane.
I see. Well, I try not to associate with gods if I can help it, but I guess we can ask when we get back to the priests and...
Yes, or you can see if there's a friendly cleric about, or maybe somebody else. I mean, gosh, I would hate for... Oh, I hope it's not catching.
Well, me too.
Beautiful stuff. Veracity, as you're sort of like trying on your armor, maybe in the dressing room, looking at yourself, in your head, you hear, "Good morrow, tiny firecracker. We're missing you in so many ways, and could use your help with a little Kelliston alicorn time fiddler. Are you okay, Viorica?"
Hi! Killed orcs in ritual battle. Heading goblin army as champion. Might die. Quite scared. Miss you all a lot. Give everyone my love.
What? Only have one more spell scroll left for this, but that's a damn lot. We'll send love to everyone. Please come back safe.
Don't be cross, don't be cross, don't be cross. Sorry for running away, but you all needed to stay. I'll do my best not to die. Love you.
Beautiful. You get no reply back.
I was thinking about sending Barda, but Viorica's worse. Okay. Also, really good Ed impression. Nice.
I love that man with all my heart.
Oh. Veracity will come out of the changing room with her armor, probably in branded tissue paper. I imagine.
Yeah, they box it up for you. It's all green tissue paper, and the box has that lizard folk face.
And if Jamie's still there, you would notice, it wouldn't take an insight roll, that she had been quite bouncy about being able to buy her friend something useful and new toys and, and it's just gone. It's just very small.
Add that to the list of things to unpack later.
Put that in a box and put that box over there.
In a hole.
There's going to be just a whole episode of conversations coming up.
Job we have shopping episodes. I
just know, Niall, you like combat every episode, so I'm waiting for a shop assistant to attack us.
You have angered the gift.
Tipped.
They realise you could have tipped 20% instead. Awesome. So, what do you guys wish to do now? You are currently stood in the Predator's lair. There's more people being announced for different jobs. But
myself and Veracity probably catch up with the rest of the group wherever you have found yourselves.
What kind of time is it now?
I'd say with all this shopping and food getting and travel, it's probably coming up to sort of early afternoon. You've probably had lunch, Vega, when you arrived. Okay. I think you're the only one that's canonically here.
Yeah. Shall we have one big blowout dinner before we go and, deal with Magla Bayek and all the rest of that pish?
We could bring some. Veracity, you'll have to tell me if this is like the nice thing. Should we get some nice takeout stuff to bring back for the king, seeing as he's been mentioned multiple times that the food and drink is rather inadequate for what he's used to?
It's really sweet.
Yes. I mean,
Nice one.
I knew that.
That's almost as sweet as when you made that flower. I saw that. It was nice.
We try.
Awesome.
Okay.
So you guys have like a lovely blowout dinner where you spend all your money and get some good food. Malice, can you roll me an insight check, please?
Yes, I can.
With advantage, if that's okay.
With advantage, okay.
Yes, please.
Insight. So that was 16.
Whilst everybody's eating, you're really getting into this book. And not only are you getting into it, but you're actually starting to understand yourself more. This book is giving you the inner peace that you've searched for so long, or at least starting to. You're starting to understand that this philosopher is making some good points. Who is to say that any god specifically created you? Who is to say that any god or any sort of creature or civilization has any sway over you? You are a being of pure freedom and of pure potentiality. You can do whatever you choose to do and whatever you wish. But what do you want? And that has become the most beautiful thing you've realized, is that you've not yet discovered what you truly want. And as you look into yourself and have more, coming into these questions, what do you like? What do you do? You start to look around at the people that you've been surrounded by. And this philosopher puts forward quite an open question, which is, isn't surely spending the time with those around us the most important thing we can do? And you look at the group around you and realize that maybe these are the people that not only should you serve as well as yourself, but maybe these are the people that are worth serving because they're here to be served. Not just one being, but everyone.
That was really pretty, Niall.
Yeah.
It's okay. all over a chicken leg. I'm not. Vega's just like, no.
Favorite sushi.
Yeah, some Faerun sushi. Slaltazar comes over at some point and sort of gives you like a congratulatory, like just a dry clap and says, well done, you've done what 145 people couldn't do. I'm very happy for you all. Enjoy your meal. And they leave.
Just got a shiver down my spine.
Yeah.
What is Malice's book called?
Why are we here?
If you look over,
Oh yeah.
if you look
We're all gonna
over,
be
you just
enlightened,
kind of.
but-
Oh, sorry.
Look.
You just kind of see Malice just kind of tearing up occasionally, underlining something, looking around at everyone like, and then underlining again.
Yeah, Vega would walk over and just go, I never had much time for reading about all that kind of stuff, but I always found meditation was a good way of exploring yourself and learning about who you are and being at peace with yourself. So.
Oh, there's so
If I
much
want to try
meditation
it.
recommended in this book. Like every next page is like, you should meditate on this spot. Take 20 minutes to sit down and think about this. But you've been like, fuck that shit, I want to read. Why the fuck would I meditate when I can read this book that I've got?
Thank you, Vega. This is what this book keeps recommending I do every page or so. I haven't had the best experience with meditation, though. It tends to, my thoughts circle into existential dread very, very quickly.
That can be troublesome. I don't know if it would help, but I guess my advice would be when you find that happening, you focus on your breathing and try and calm your thoughts
My
as best you can. It's not necessarily easy, I understand, but
This book has mentioned something by the name of guided meditation, and I can't help but notice that your voice, it is soothing like a cat's purr, because that is slightly what it is. Have you ever considered guiding my meditation or group meditation?
I could certainly try.
In a few days' time, Malice will finish the book and find that Yolmar also has a series of books on meditation. But this is a tale for another day. So, fuck me. We
This
find
is
ourselves
true character development, Niall.
I think I'd like to. I think Vega knows more about meditation than me, basically. So yeah, we'd sit and kind of talk to you a bit more, and yeah, we'd at some point, maybe later this evening, but maybe not. At some point in the future, we'd offer to meditate with you and give you some guidance through it.
And Malice
Okay.
would gratefully accept.
Okay,
you
would
both-
lean over during this and go, does it still taste like ash?
No, all of the food this evening is very delicious.
Anybody else taste ash after we had red powder flicked on us?
Food has
Or-
never
or-
tasted as magnificent as in the company of friends.
I mean, no, I don't believe I've tasted.
Nobody else saw any unusual lights when they threw the powder at us?
No. That's weird.
Can I make a subtle religion check? Or is it still far too vague?
A subtle religion check.
You know when you like...
It's not like
instead
your
of actively-
passive religion check.
Yeah, a passive religion check.
I'm like, oh, maybe I've heard of this religion before. I'm like, I saw a religion check and was like, are you a Mormon? But what's your passive religion then?
Oh, it would be 12, I'd assume.
No, that's still not. That was less than what Hannah rolled. If you would like to question,
Well, I meant
Vega
active.
about-
I was
Oh.
more describing it as an in-character.
if you'd like to ask more questions to sort of spur that on, then yeah.
So, go through these symptoms, I guess we'll call them.
Well, there was only two really. When they threw the powder at us, I guess my eyes sort of felt like they burned for a second, and I just assumed they were, irritated. But then I saw some sort of orange and yellow blobs of light, but it only lasted a moment. Then when we got here, I got some food, and the first bite I took tasted like ash, but everything else I've eaten and drunk since then has been perfectly normal.
Make a religion check.
Definitely subtle because nothing went in.
I think it's more of the fact that you've just never heard of anything like this before.
How strange. And nobody else. Nobody else.
If you're trying to put this towards like the idea that this is a religious concept, it's becoming apparent to you that you don't really know enough about goblins and their religious beliefs.
Well, this is true. Yes. Protea, did you have any luck?
Oh, it's definitely linked to Maglabiac, and being somebody about blood and battle and war, but beyond that, I'm sorry, I can't know everything.
No.
But it's definitely not a curse, so that's good news, and it's not arcane in nature. Definitely religious.
That's good to know.
Are there any traces of the powder still on Vega?
I think there might be traces on all of you unless Protea prestidigitated you all. I presume Protea prestidigitated herself.
Jamie would have prestidigitated herself as well to get rid of it.
Then it really just depends on whether or not you'd have done the whole group.
No.
Then in that case, like...
And I've kind of dusted it off as much as possible. But...
Yeah, I think if that's the case, like, roll a D100, there's a 10% chance that there might... Do you know what I mean? That kind of like...
Yeah. It was just more just to totally... Vega, just lean forward slightly for me. And she'll prestidigitate and just... hopefully that will make sure there is no trace left on you.
Thank you.
Maybe speak to a cleric or something like that. But that would just
Perhaps
go back to
maybe I'll visit one in the morning before we leave.
Sounds like a plan. Who says we have a good drink?
Absolutely.
I think Protea looks like very pointedly at Veracity.
I'm okay, thank you, but the rest of you can. I really like lemonade, so that will be sugar for me. Sounds great.
Yes.
Because I need more sugar, obviously.
Yes.
Sweet. So, you all drink the night away?
I don't think Protea would.
Ooh.
Hitting the lemonades hard.
I think she gets an alcopop, but it's very much but it's very much a prop.
You get one WKD wizard killer drink.
Yes. A WKD. Or what? Smirnoff Ice.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So you guys have a wonderful evening at the Predator's Lair, watching like a few more. Did you place any more bets? Do you want to make more money?
I'll bet on my bro, I guess, if he is
your bro's
doing.
your bro's not got anything. You notice that he's not here, but he's also not been put down for anything.
As in, he's not on a quest at all.
Not one assigned by the Predator's lair. Suspicious. Would you like to make a gossip check?
Yes! Scuttlebutt me. How do I do that?
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Just through the evening. Yeah, persuasion check through the evening to see whether or not you can persuade somebody to tell you a bit more about maybe what was going on.
21.
Ooh, damn. You get talking to a dwarf in the first sort of tier area called Vogan Wyventoe. Is that name okay, guys?
How's his poetry?
Poetry's terrible. You sort of scour the area, and after like a few hours of maybe just asking after your brother, someone has pointed out that this dwarf was like having a good long conversation with Theros at one point, and you end up talking to Vorgan, who is this like burly dwarf with like clothes that stop them from overflowing out of their clothes because they're so well fed and well kept, basically nursed into drunkenness every night. Very much enjoying their holiday here at the Predator's lair. But they tell you this long, convoluted tale of their conversation with Theros, which basically what you managed to gather from that is that Theros was working for some supposed count that Volgan had never heard of, looking for some sort of lost artifact of some great importance that the Count had specifically told Theros not to talk about, but Theros was talking about anyway, because that's what Theros does. And Vogan had I managed to persuade this golden elf to give me the juicy details. And the juicy details were that this supposed Count is looking for something that was lost for a long time, longer than even elves. It's longer than you. And they like put their hand way too close to your face, and yeah, it can fall off their chair.
They have a fine name, but they're just gross.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm Wyventoe. Good old Wyventoe.
Borgon Wyventoe. Fucking classic. Yeah, Protea's just going to leave it there then. No point getting involved with any of that shenanigan.
Yeah, the last thing you find out is that they were supposedly headed into the Wastelands themselves.
Okay. I guess I get a room for everyone. Or like a suite.
It could just be the one you had rented.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah, they open it up. The doors because you had this suite just for one person, it would have just fit one person fine, but because you've asked for more rooms to be put, doors that weren't there before and now sort of like magically appeared, they're joint linking rooms for you all. So very similar to like where one of the old end seasons of Friends, where they're in that hotel and they all have adjoining doors and they can all hear each other if they listen to the doors. That's what you've all got.
Nice. Well, early rise tomorrow, I suppose, everyone. Have we got everything we need?
I think so.
More prepared than I feel like I've ever been for anything.
Yeah. Do we need to... We don't know. Have we decided what we're going to say? What we're going to do? Are we going to war?
If I'm honest, I'm still not really sure what's going on exactly. So I'm not sure how much I trust any of that lot. But if there's a city to save, then we're in a position to do that.
I'm slightly concerned that the blue dragon, which was described as being like the things that took over his city, was not of his city, but is now in our land, though that could be completely separate. And I'm slightly concerned that that suggests that all the creatures are feral. Having tried to chat to this dragon, didn't seem in the chatting mood, so it seems like violence will have to be our... Well, I mean, Jamie's the one with the expert on dragons.
Wait, when did you talk to a dragon?
Yeah.
Oh, remember when we said we went to the loo? Well, we did, but we also talked to the dragon.
That's what I thought. You were having bladder problems. That makes sense. You were
I
gone
thought
for
you just
so
had a funny
long.
tummy.
No, then they messaged me, and I probably should have mentioned it, but I panicked, I think.
You heard the words, "We're going to speak to a dragon," and panic is the correct course of action. I don't know, it's funny. I feel like all these people keep on telling us that we are champions, we're meant to be there, whether through religious or fate or whatever other version, but it's kind of funny. I'm almost feeling like we are supposed to be doing this now. I don't know if it's almost them rubbing off on me.
I think the question is, do we want to do this?
Ooh.
Oh, I dropped my rubber.
Killed the moment, Niall.
I just love it. I love it.
You want to do it, Malice?
I think I do.
So do I.
I don't know how to win a war, but it does seem like a good one to try.
I think it would be something new. And we did relatively well with those orcs. I suppose high-level strategy, maybe. Well, worst comes to worst, I can talk to some people about strategy.
Is strategy where you decide to set fire to something and then you set fire to it?
Yes, or where would be the best place to set fire to
Oh,
something?
I'm good at strategy then. Okay.
Can I insight check I could speak to some people about strategy? Comment.
Ooh.
20.
Oh,
Way!
25.
Whoa! Protea'd ring her dad.
Right.
I mean, it's not a bad shout.
Ah!
No, like quite literally. It's not a bad shout. They are old as balls and acquired wealth through generations of not being very nice. So it would be a bit of a, what would you do for me, young child? But it would be a way to acquire more information or at least get that sort of help.
And how reluctant does she seem to do it?
On a scale of 1 to 10, a 6.
Okay.
She, to be fair, this is her first big day out.
Yeah.
And she was expecting to have to run home to mummy and daddy at some point, but it's not something she wants to do.
I just love that. Protea's big day out.
We'll write a story. But...
That's what this campaign should have been called.
We're the big day outs. And
Into the Wasteland.
anyway,
it's better.
Protea's big day out.
no, I don't love the fact that she's now the name on this.
Yeah, but Protea loves it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm writing it down for the next intro.
Let's say.
Okay.
Do I get a card for rolling that 20?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
I want a card.
I want a damn card. Reward me.
Give me something awesome.
It is actually a pretty good one. 1d12 to an attack or skill roll.
Nice.
I believe. Yes. Skill or attack. Which is a pretty good thing to add. So, do we all adjourn to our separate bedrooms?
Unless someone wants to do a slumber party. Do each other's nails.
Malice has made strides. I don't think he's there yet.
Awesome.
Jamie definitely takes herself off.
Well, Jamie, as you get to your room, it's a wonderfully decorated room. It's very tavernly in its like sort of hominess of wood and like furs and things like this, with fine towels and your own ensuite bath. And it's well lit, and you can see outside the horrible pine tree, like tropical trees that shouldn't be here, but are like outside your room. And as you can see, like the sun setting, you literally watch the sunset, and as it does, all the torches and lights and candles in your room go out, and you turn to sort of experience this phenomenon. And in the corner is a tall elf wrapped in these dark robes, looking at you intently.
Is this someone I recognize?
Yeah.
Okay, I bow immediately. If it's the person I think I'm recognizing.
They walk over to you and say, "Rise."
Yeah, she stands up incredibly stiff and flat-faced.
Now, a little birdie told me you'd abandoned your post. Understandably, you thought most of us were dead.
I didn't abandon it. It was destroyed.
Not pleased, Jamie. Not pleased at all. But you have found yourself in a rather peculiar predicament, haven't you? They look outside the window at the area around.
Well, I mean, he told me to go and learn more about the world. So this is where I ended up.
He who, Jamie? I am the one that tells you what to do, where to go.
Well, I assumed it was connected to you.
Don't forget who gives you your power.
I understand. I'll come back right now. I'll collect my stuff. I'll come.
They smile at you. You are good. I do like you for that. But you did make a deal. Go on, get your things.
She immediately collects them.
They start to open this dark hole in the middle of the room. And they say, "Come on, step in."
Yeah. She steps in.
And as you do, they close it and they go, I have a better idea. See, you are wonderful at what you do. And you've been doing a wonderful job. Apart from the last instance, which we have just spoke of. Which I will remember, by the way.
Okay, so do you ever forget?
I've lived for a very long time. I've forgotten more than you'll ever know. But I do think that this is a wonderful time for you. Like you say, go out, explore, see the world, get stronger. Because in your current state, you're not really of much use to me. I'd be better off tearing your head off right here, right now, than doing anything else. So I say, let's have you out there, get stronger, work with these normals, and build that strength, build a bit of character. I think it'd be good for you. And they go over to you and they sort of like lift your chin up to their height, because they are a lot taller than you. And do something with your hair. It's looking a bit messy. And then they disappear and all the lights start to turn on again.
She relaxes her shoulders, sort of looks around the room. Looks around slightly and messes her hair up slightly and opens a door and just goes into, I think you said slumber party, didn't you, Protea? So she's just going to walk into Protea's room, not say anything. Oh, well, knock first. But
Nice, thanks.
Hello.
Protea's got a top off. Ah! Puts it back on.
Knock softly on the door.
Yeah.
And if you sort of say, come in.
Yeah.
And she'll open the door and just be like, why don't you tell me about your home? And just comes and sits down and listens to you talk, which I feel like something you might be quite content to do.
Yeah, Protea would. Absolutely.
If it's too much to role play, do you want to give us the spark notes? I'm happy to hear what
it's totally up to you. I almost imagined it like a montage of the evening.
Yeah.
She doesn't say much, she just listens.
And Protea talks about, well, my home. Well, that's kind of difficult. Are you talking about the house or are you talking about the summer house? Oh, wait. Or are you more talking about home as a concept? Well, either
the winter
way.
house, the autumn house, the spring house.
Yeah. What Jamie picks up is that Protea's kind of scared of you.
That's fair.
And if you do ask a question, she answers fully, not leaving anything out. Few things dropped here and there, I guess. She gives an overview of the family, but doesn't spend a long time talking about any of them. It's more about the servants and the elemental that's always around to cook and clean, and the amazing library. I mean, and the clothes that she's left at home. And while she's in the middle of this, she goes, sorry, I'm talking so much. Here, let me do your nails, or shall I do your hair?
She puts her hands out and she says,
Great.
Go away, but just stick to the motif.
Oh, of course. I appreciate a colour scheme, she says, gesturing at her all green outfit, apart from the sort of reddish green trousers. Would that be a Presti to do? Yeah, I make a colour. Oh, it only does for an hour. Can I have brought nail polish, please, DM? Yeah. So does alternating red and black. No, your colours are green and black, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like ivy.
Oh,
red would suit though. Red would actually
red would still work.
Yeah.
It's almost like a
contrast.
A berry, like a red berry.
Well, because I'm also all green, so that's very easy. That would make sense that I brought the little nail polish as well. Darken the pink into a red. And yeah, does that. So if there's any questions that you think Jamie would ask specifically, if she is being quiet, then Hannah, I'm happy to flesh them out. But
yeah.
Otherwise, it's just very.
It's interesting, Jamie. I mean, she is so far from the entire real time that we've been with her. She only really says something if she's got something to say. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like she speaks when there's something she deems worthy of actually saying. She isn't bothered about filling air. If it's quiet, it's quiet. She's not bothered. But she just almost, instead of verbally prompting you to continue, it's just sort of the nod of listening, which gives you the opportunity to be like, oh, and this, and oh, and that. And it's sort of, she just seems to be content. And she's very soft, and instead of this very abrupt, quite mysterious, edgy kind of person you've come across so far, she just seems to be very, very content listening, very quiet.
Protea presses some wind to blow very gently across your nails as they start to dry.
Beautiful.
You a nice polite bow and take herself off after probably quite a while of enjoyable listening and painting.
Yeah, it's a good few hours of conversation, I believe.
So cute.
Okay. Veracity, is there anything you'd like to do before bed?
Cry. No, I think I might cast Ascending to Valka.
All right. Get me
Gonna be
Valkyrie on.
so disappointed in me. Can you get your northern nap?
Get your new oven ready.
It will be something along the lines of, I'm okay. Don't be sad. Sorry for going. I've made new friends. Not as nice, but getting there. I'll be okay. Are you okay? I think that was 25.
Veracity. What's this about a goblin army? Really glad to hear you've got new friends. I'm good. Please just make sure you're looking after yourself. It's 25.
Yes, and then I will curl into a ball and go to sleep feeling very sorry for myself.
Malice, anything you'd like to do before bed?
I would like to have some solo Malice time to practice some meditation.
Well, I was going to ask, do Vega and Malice meditate this evening?
Yeah. Well, I think Vega would be meditating at some point, certainly.
Doth guided meditation happen tonight?
I think that Malice would probably want a little bit alone time to decompress. Been around people for longer than he's ever been around people in any positive way ever. So just kind of needs a minute.
Perfect.
And I think from Vega's point of view, like, he's made the offer now, so he's now going to leave it to Malice to come in his own time.
Malice, would you like to roll us another wisdom saving throw at advantage this time?
Sure. Okay, so one of them was a 3 and one of them was a 2. And I still have -1 on wisdom.
You're still... I think maybe this has been too much today. It's one of those, like, you've gone from having an existential crisis to being like, oh my God, look at all this hope that I have. Oh my God, I have hope now. What does that mean? Does that mean I can lose hope now? That's kind of your evening.
I'm trying my best, but the spiral it pulls.
Hey, Rome wasn't built in a day. Vega, you sit down to meditate and you get your breathing. That's the first thing you focus on. You feel the floor, you feel the air touching your fur, you feel the control of the elements that you have, the wind, the earth, the fire, the water, the blood that flows through your veins, the earth that's part of your body that connects you to the floor, the fire in your belly that can be burnt and brought out as a roaring flame, and the wind that not only moves and pulls you but also settles you and keeps you balanced. And as you do so, the fire starts to get into your nostrils a little bit more, and you sneeze a few times and your eyes start to burn. But you're a very, very well-behaved meditator. And whilst all these things are happening, your body is actually still. And that's when it occurs to you, maybe this is in your mind. And you can feel the flame getting hotter and hotter and hotter to where the white that you would usually hold in your center of your mind's eye starts to burn and get hotter and hotter. And in your heart, you can feel the heat burning, much like it would when you cast any sort of fire key charges, and your whole body becomes on fire. And that's when the fire clears and you can see this large city of stone, of wood, burning as beings from the sun fall down, raining like balls of fire. You can see them in their golden armor shining, blasting through walls, men and women carrying children, running away, some pulling out swords to fight against these beings of armor that are shining brighter than any sun you've ever seen, and they are just cut down mercilessly without thought, without even a second to defend themselves. You see these beings start throwing elements very similar to yourself, some of them screaming through their masks, some of them just point at some of these people as they explode into nothingness. You see large, sort of powerful sorcerers come out of libraries and start throwing spells and casting different area of effects to control this tide of this incoming chaos. And you see these beings of immense power just shake off these spells that are thrown at them and run towards, again, the bloodshed not stopping. And that's when you see one staring at you, and they take off their helmet, and you can see a human face. And behind the helmet, this human face has bandages that are wrapped around their eyes, and they point directly at you. And that's when you wake up the next morning.
Well, shit.
Malice, can you roll me a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Yes,
And
yes,
Veracity,
I can.
could you also roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, bother.
24.
A 24! Nice! Okay.
A 4.
A 4, nice!
Oh, sorry, a 5. 5.
5 still
plus
passes.
3.
Yeah, 5 still passes.
What's the fail mark for this?
It gets higher and higher and higher.
Okay,
you,
that makes sense.
The longer you stay in one place, the higher it gets. But you would. Sorry, just flicked myself. You wake up this morning, and you don't feel that horrible feeling that you usually get when you need to leave somewhere.
4?
Yeah, well, with a 5 in total.
With a 5, great.
You feel okay. Malice, your fangs are still there. You're like, this is weird. But hey, who's to say what's weird and what's not these days, am I right? But it's the next morning.
I mean, I tell everyone, are we gathering for breakfast?
Yeah, I think I'll have ordered room service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Party in Protea's room
Did you
then.
all?
absolutely.
So yeah, I would.
Protea's predators partying in Protea's room.
Pad, please.
Thank you.
Has anyone ever actually had any sort of religious visions?
Ooh, no. Have you?
Well, unfortunately, now, yes, I have, I think.
Oh.
I, as I was meditating last night, I felt a burning in my chest and my eyes, and I had some sort of vision of, I think, the city being attacked and on fire, and a human who seemed to be able to see me. And I didn't come out of my meditation as usual. I guess I went from that straight to sleep, and then the next thing I knew, I was waking up this morning.
This has never happened before? No premonitions? You're not
No,
an oracle of some kind?
as the burning was starting, and the feeling in my eyes was very similar to when the powder was thrown in our faces.
I wonder if it's activated something inside of you. Something to do with who you are.
Do you want to make another religion check? This will be for something else. This won't be for what you were looking for before.
Oh, could my comment help someone else? Or
Indeed, it could.
yes.
Yeah,
There you
it
go.
helped me a lot. Thanks. Because that's a 23.
You don't know much about goblins or Malglabaya or anything like that. You don't. But with all this talk about being an oracle and, you know, religious visions, when people are chosen by divine entities and gods, it's usually like group consciousness, like a group of people that are tuned into this said god all pick one person and all know that this one person is like the chosen one, the prophet, that kind of vibe. And it seems to appear that maybe Vega might be chosen by Maglabaya.
Well, there's good news and there's bad news. Which one do you want to hear first?
Surprise me.
Great. Well, brilliant news. You have been chosen by Maglabayak.
Just me.
Just you.
Not us.
That's the good news because we haven't. The bad news is you've been chosen by Maglabayak. But it does suggest that you are, in fact, a prophet, an oracle, a chosen one, which could be seen as good news. Historically, maybe 50-50. But, you know, we'll be coming with you.
I mean, 50-50 is not terrible odds, I suppose.
And quite honestly, it's a relief because otherwise it's a curse, not a curse, but another effect that... Anyway, it means that when you meditate, perhaps you might have some connection with this god who, as we know, doesn't seem to be communicating with either his king or his priests or...
No.
So maybe you can figure out what the fuck is going on.
Well, as far as I could tell, he seems to like setting things on fire.
Well, he and Veracity should get on like a house on the proverbial.
I like that.
Beautiful. So, gang, what's your next choice? Are we heading back up to the hobgoblins?
If everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, as you all start to head up back the northern trade route to go help these hobgoblins and goblinoids to take back their home city, we'll leave our adventurers for just a brief moment. Somewhere deep in the Wastelands, in a large city that's been recently taken over, walks an army older than time itself. And deep in the throne room of this city sits a new king. And the new king looks upon his new kingdom impatiently, waiting. That's where one of his subjects, a man clad in armor with bandages around his eyes, approaches, takes a knee, looks up at his king, and says, "They're coming." And that is where we'll end today's session. Thank you very much for joining us for a wonderful session of Into the Wasteland, Protea's Big Day Out. It's been a wonderful session. Join us tonight. We play every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. GMT PST and 10 a.m. PST and PT. We also have some talks together on a Saturday, again at 6 p.m. GMT BST and 10 a.m. PT PST for talks together. Our chat show where we interview players and DMs and other TTRPG industry voices. All our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogether. And you can find all our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of all our shows available everywhere. Search for Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There'll be a link in chat now. Do join them because every penny helps make all this wonderful content that we do with all these wonderful players. So come be one of the dice heads. Big thanks again to our sponsors, Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, Elderwood Academy, and our supporters, D&D Beyond, Idol, Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Warriors of Waterdeep, and Level Up Dice. So don't forget, we're also all over social media as Roll Together RPG. And thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.